Hello and welcome back to Let's Play LOTRO with me, Balthelion, where we find ourselves today inside Tuckborough, where we left off last time. We have a couple of quests still to do, but I think there's a couple of things we need to do first. So hello to anyone who's already lurking in the chat. I suspect we'll probably have a couple of the usual suspects knocking around. If I just make sure I've got the chat window up, otherwise I won't see what you guys are saying. So, first things we need to do, we need to have a look at the trait trees because we never actually did this last time. So we should have been able to select our trait tree at level 7. Yep, Lost Shire Hobbit, I knew you'd be in the chat. We need to select our trait tree. Now, I've noticed that this does seem to be a little bit different to normal. So normally you would have 3 trait trees, you'd be able to freely select between them at level 7. But in the case of the Brawler, we only actually have 2 proper trait trees, and then the third one's just kind of got some miscellaneous traits. So if we switch to the actual trait trees, we'll see that the red and the blue lines are normal trait trees. They've got a couple of capstones each, but the yellow trait line only goes down to tier 5. There's no tier 6s or 7s, so we're going to end up speccing for one of these two, and then potentially grabbing some other traits from the yellow line as needed. I'm not sure what the design reasons for that were. I think it's basically because they're trying to force you to go more of a DPS or a tank line rather than kind of sitting in the middle. But it does feel a bit cheap, perhaps, that we've kind of been conned out of the third trait line, where we've been able to have this for, let's say, like the Rune Keeper, where you can go between damage or healing, or the tank classes where you can go between damage or tanking. There's no kind of middle ground in this one, which is a little bit strange. But hey ho, so we have 2 choices. We have the Fulcrum, which is the blue one, which is our tanking line, it seems. So powerful strikes and brash challenges will ensnare the attention of your foes. We will gain 2 skills if we spec in that line, which are Come At Me and Iron Will. Hello, John Bastian. So Come At Me. So it is a free target skill in melee, because obviously everything's in melee for us. Often owning their methods in uncouth tavern brawls, brawlers are known to challenge all comers one at a time or all together. So it's a point blank AoE taunt, forced attack for 5 seconds. So for 5 seconds, everything that we hit is going to attack us. 1 minute cooldown, so it's not a full-on tanking skill. It's going to be like an emergency kind of grab stuff. So if you're in groups, you might want to initiate with that, perhaps, just to get your initial aggro on you, and make sure it stays on you until you can build a bit of proper aggro. And then we've got Iron Will. The ceaseless training needed to harden the body also leads to a will of iron, allowing you to fight off assaults upon the mind and spirit as readily as you withstand fists and blades. Reduces incoming damage. This skill's effect scales with the amount of metal the Brawler has when it's used. So our metal bar, which goes up to 9, just above the little sword icon there. So that will go up. I don't know what it will cap at. We'll probably see that at some point. So yeah, reduces incoming damage. So it's at least 10% plus 2% per metal. So cap about 30% then. Plus a trait bonus from Enhanced Guard, which I'm guessing is going to be a trait somewhere in the blue trait line. Iron Will suppresses weather blows if both are active at the same time. Don't know what that is, but that'd be interesting. And that's on a 3-minute cooldown as well. So again, that's more of a panicky oh shit kind of skill. And then our red line is going to be our DPS line. Hello to Leo Kolev. So the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom is a dynamic fighter capable of engaging small groups but truly shining at single combat. So it's both single target and AoE damage. So we have Pummel and we have Shattering Fist. So let's see. Pummel, unleash a flurry of blows. So I think that's reasonable damage compared to my other skills at the moment. So yeah, it's higher than all of those. So it does damage every 1 second, deals common damage. It's a channeled skill. Okay. It will channel for 5 seconds. Okay, so we activate that, and as long as we stay in melee, of someone, we can just sort of like keep punching them every second, doing a bit of extra damage. Interesting. 15-second cooldown. Kind of feels perhaps a bit like what was it called? The Bjorning one, where you just kind of maul stuff with a bear. Very similar to that, I think. Then we've got Shattering Fist. Drive a devastating fist into your enemy's armour, leaving it broken and ineffective. It reduces their armour, does a nice bit of damage, reduces it for 20 seconds, 10-second cooldown. Okay, so we break through their armour so we can do more damage with our other skills. And they've got a couple of passive traits on both of these. So the tank one increases our physical mitigation and increases max morale, and our DPS line increases our might, which scales with level. Don't know how much that's going to be at higher levels. It's probably going to be minimal, really. A 5% melee damage, which is always nice. But I think for solo play, we're going to spec into the red trait line. And we get 2 trade points to spend, because we would have got one at level 7 and one at level 9. We'll get them every other level or odd levels. So what are our 3 options we can buy here? So we can buy a First Strike, which only has 1 tier. We can get 5 tiers of setup attack damage and 5 tiers of dexterous hook training. So we get the skill First Strike. What does that do? A quick strike best used on how adversaries. Target must have greater than 80% of their maximum health. So we have to use that at the start of a fight. It's on an 8-second cooldown, so we should be able to get that off cooldown and use it against another enemy we'll be fighting. But it's higher damage compared to my other skills, so initiate with that. So that could be nice. And then the other 2 are just 5 tiers. So we've got setup attack damage. So all our setup attack skills should be our basic skills. So our low strike, our dexterous hook, and our sinister cross. 25% on our base attacks. It's quite nice, I guess. And then dexterous setup. Dexterous hook. Dexterous setup becomes more potent, so it increases the damage of this one in specifically. But again, it only goes up to 25%. So okay, so immediately setup attack damage is better than dexterous hook training. So let's buy first attack, and let's buy 1 rank of setup attack damage, shall we? Right, so with our trait tree set up then, we've got a couple of quests to do. So let's go outside Tuckborough. We've got a couple of quests to do in the Tuckborough region. So which is going to be nearest? There's another hobbit with a quest ring nearby, which may affect which is going to be the nearest quest. So where are you? Oh no, that is the one I need to speak to. That's fine then.
Cannot a body be left alone?
Oh, how is dear Uncle Adelard? I don't see him nearly enough anymore. So he wants some spiced boar ribs, does he? Well, I have the spices, but I lack the ribs. They are rather important to the dish, are they not? Ha! But don't you worry, there are plenty of boars roaming the hills east of Tuckborough. If you bring me some ribs, I will make the dish Uncle Adelard is after. So, murder some boars, basically. And then we've got a couple of other ones, but I think the other one's to the west. Yeah, and the other one's in Overhill, blimey. Right, so boars should be pretty much anywhere, but they're going to be kind of scattered around, so we might have to hunt them. Where's my first attack? I'm going to have to rearrange my skills, I think. Let's try some of our new skills. So this is our first strike. Punch him in the face. There is a little bit of a animation there. I didn't really see too well what that was though. I think it's just like a explosion-y kind of effect. You can't really see it too well on that. Oh, 3 boar ribs already. Oh, that was nice and easy. Lost Shire Hobbit, you now have a brawler called Avelia. That sounds awfully familiar. I wonder where you possibly got inspiration for that name. And you're enjoying the class. Yeah, obviously, my only gameplay with it has been the previous stream that we recorded, which will be the first 6 episodes of the Shire coming out this week and next week, and then whatever we do today. So, I mean, It's all right so far. I don't hate it. We'll see how we go.
Body be left alone?
Good. You've brought the ribs. Let me prepare them for you. Here you go. Tell Uncle Adlar to enjoy them, but if he eats too many, he'll have to add a notch or two to his belt. And conveniently, he's going to be back inside. Yeah, well, we'll see how it is. I mean, I've heard from some people that it's kind of, as with the other classes that have been added to the game previously, Runekeeper aside, that it kind of struggles to find its kind of role in groups.
It's terrible. Just terrible.
Good. You have the ribs, and they smell delicious. Adelina is quite the cook, isn't she? Well, I will place these in the library, and hopefully they will appease the old Took's ghost. Then I'll have some peace again. There we go. He's happy. I have increased one of my virtue ranks. Come on, let me out. Let me out, please. Why won't you let me out? Let's just stand here and see if it lets me out. There we go. Keepy, hello. Leo, so the Brawler uses just the bare hands in combat. I am confused. Yeah, so I think they get some knuckle dusters that they can use at some point. But otherwise they do fight barehanded. So on my character. So we've got the battle gauntlets. That probably explains why it doesn't override my cosmetic outfit as well, because technically it's a weapon rather than a glove slot. But yeah, you don't fight using swords, spears, axes, bows, whatever. So you do still benefit from stats from a weapon. But essentially all your attacks are going to be melee based and involve punching things. Lost Shire Hobbit, busted on the name. Yes, I thought that sounded awfully like Avella. So Gamma Tunnelly. There seems to be a bit of lag on the servers.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
Oh, good. There is something very important I would ask you to do for me. When my grandson Wilcom was younger, I made him his lunch every day, but ever since he's moved to Scary, I don't get the chance to do it. You see, he oversees the quarry there, and I'm very proud of him, but I do miss making him his lunch. In fact, I miss it so much that I made him a very special lunch. Unfortunately, though, my old bones won't take me all the way there, but a young one like you could easily take it to him. I'm sure I read this before in the first session, but we didn't do it because we're going to be on a timer. So I think I will leave that until such time as we actually will go running over there. Postman, you want to take me to where?
Stay and have some tea.
Hobbiton. So that's not too far away. We could do that soon. It is just north. I suppose we could do that and then go to the quest that is west of Tuckborough. So,
good day. Might I have a word with you?
There's been talk that Postmaster Proudfoot is trying to speed up delivery times for the quick post service, but I'm really swamped with mail and haven't been able to hit the times he wants. Lobelia's birthday is fast approaching, though curiously enough, very few pieces of mail are postmarked for Bag End, because nobody likes her. Instead, there's mail going everywhere else. I think hobbits throughout Tuckborough are writing to their friends to complain about Lobelia's new presents proposal, if you ask me. There on the table, you will find a satchel of mail to be delivered to Postman Grubb in Hobbiton for the sorting. He can be found west of the centre of Hobbiton, to the north if you're interested. Watch out for nosy hobbits and don't let the mail get wet. So we'll pick that up and avoid those. No timer for the quest, the lunch in Scary. I assumed... that's a nosy hobbit, don't go near him. Or her. Sneak around the back of the hedge. I assumed it was going to be another induction quest, like delivering the mail on the post. And the prize, sorry. Might be wrong. I suppose I could always pick it up and have a look. So it should be near the stable master. Yeah, just past the stable master, but not quite across the bridge. Another nosy hobbit to the right there. I suppose we could, while we're down here, speak to Lobelia for the prologue quest as well. Let's just make sure there is a nosy hobbit down here, very close to the stable master. So we'll just swing a bit to the west here, blend in with the sheep, and deliver. There we go. Where does your one go?
Stay a moment.
Yours is for Overhill. So Overhill, as the name suggests, is behind the hill. So we won't do that one just yet. Now let's go back south because there's quite a few quest rings here. We'll do Hobbiton a little bit later. Grab the stable master though.
Day, isn't it?
And now we need to look for Geribert Took, who lives in a little hobbit hole to the west of Tuckborough. I'm sure we went past it when we came over to Tuckborough in the first stream. Keepy, you don't think it is a timer, just run there if you recall correctly, but you're not completely sure. It's been a while. Yeah, same here. Lost Shire Hobbit, nope, you're good. Just pick it up and tuck it away until you get to Scary. Do it all the time. Oh, there we go. Perfect then. Let's grab it.
Could I take a moment of your time?
There we go. And then we can just dismiss that, because for those that don't know, the quarry in Scary is all the way up in the northeast, so it'll be a while before we get there. So Geribert Took. So he's gone missing. He didn't show up for his dinner, and for a hobbit that is most peculiar. So everyone's kind of wondering what's up with him. Maybe he's self-isolating because of that which we must not speak about. Won't say the word. Don't want YouTube to flag me up. So we're in his house. It's empty. Left his door unlocked. It's full of rats. Punch the rats. Trying to think what would be. Should we try the pummel skill? Bonk, 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 bonk. That was actually quite a nice little animation. And Shattering Fist. I want to punch some more rats now. Let's see that again. Why can't I punch? Because I need metal. Alright, ready? Here comes the pummel. Oh, here comes the pummel now. No, I've lost it. I've lost all my metal. Oh, I spent it on something else, damn it. I quite like that little punchy, but I want to see it again. Find Geribert's journal and bring it to Acelia Took, or read Geribert's journal, which we haven't actually got yet. There it is. Now, what does it say? Fine as usual. Monday. Today Peregrine dared me to hide in one of Longborough's wagons, the ones that head east out of the Shire. He doesn't think I'll do it, but I'll show him. Okay, so he stashed himself in the back of a wagon, and he's probably been taken further afield than he expected. Where's the way out? There it is. That was pretty silly then. He's probably going to find himself far from home. Let's hope he's got the money to hire a horse to get back, or a pony. So back to Acelia Took for that one. We've also completed the first tier of Life of a Bounder. So it's showing up our deed log. There are a lot of quests to do for this. And this used to be a pain in the backside back in the day. Particularly around Moria and Mirkwood kind of era. Because back then, your virtue deeds used to award you ranks of a particular virtue, and in this case the Shire used to give you innocence, which is quite nice for the physical mitigation, and given that it gave you +2 for the deed, it was one of the best sources of it. So you kind of had to do it, and it was a bit of a grind, and if you didn't like the Shire, then you kind of a bit buggered really.
It's been a foul day, it has.
Geribert's house was empty. Here, let me take a look at that journal of his. I'm sure he'll be here, all manner of embarrassed to know that I've read his journal, but I think it's important we know where he's gotten off to.
I want a word with you.
Oh dear, well it seems Geribert may have gotten himself into a bit of a pickle. The last entry in his journal says that our full cousin Pippin dared him to hide on one of Longborough's wagons going east. The strangest thing is that this was written some time ago. Pippin has been away in Hobbiton. And Longo's farm isn't that far away. Perhaps you should speak with Longo to see if he's seen Geribert. Longo's farm is on the Stock Road east out of Tuckborough. The more I think about this, the more concerned I get for poor Geribert. So how far along the road? Actually not that far, just a little bit to the east. Leo, if they have second breakfast then, is there second dinner, or do they have just one but loads of food? So, if I can remember all 7, you've got breakfast, you've got second breakfast, which might be like a 10 a.m., 11 a.m. kind of job. You have luncheon, tea, supper, dinner. That's 6. Breakfast, second breakfast, lunch, tea, supper, dinner. Yeah, that's 7. So they're kind of like eating every couple of hours, basically. So here's the farm. Gone a little bit too far.
Dear me, what do you want?
So what? You come a-calling about some fool took. Well, I might have seen him, but I ain't going to tell you what I've seen for nothing. No, you're going to have to do me a favour first.
Dear
As long as it
me,
doesn't
please
involve
don't
delivering mail or
leave yet.
pies, I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. Before I tell you where that fool took you're looking for is, I want you to do something for me. See, my pipeweed is known throughout the Shire and a bit beyond, and that means I've got lots of folk coming to ask me for leaf. Well, my current crop isn't quite ready for harvesting yet, but I'm a smart hobbit, you see. Back when the bears were sleeping in the winter, I hid a barrel of leaf out in one of their dens for just such a rainy day. You couldn't have put it in your warehouse or something? No, you stupid muppet. Go to the bear dens south of here and find that barrel of leaf. When you bring it back, I'll tell you what I know of that old took. So that's going to be somewhere to the south. So Lost Shire Hobbit, yeah, you've put in all the rough time slots. I don't know where exactly everyone's from in the chat. But if you ask an English or British person what they call their evening meal, depending on where you are in the country, some will say dinner, some will say supper, some will say tea. So those are kind of interchangeable in real life. But yeah, for hobbits, they're kind of in a very particular order throughout the day. There's the pipeweed. Oh, I've just realised. Oh, Jesus Christ. The last time we were fighting bears, I died. Because they actually hurt quite a bit. So we'll see how we go, because I'm more concerned with stacking bleeds more than anything. Some of these guys are resetting. I think I probably should use a pot. In typical fashion, I've just ran in and completely overpulled. I've got 4 stacks of bleed now, which is intimidating, to say the least. I think I shall retreat to a safe distance. And then we'll walk in there properly, because the bleeds are probably going to do it. Jesus, I'm dead. I'm dead. There's no way about it. Got another one. Go on, go away. Leave me alone. I never learn. Every time I roll a new character, and it's been this way for years, that early game bleeds are quite dangerous. I don't really want to fight you on your own, to be honest, until I've had a chance to regen. Right. Let's slowly heal back up and cautiously go in properly. So he's going to just roar in my face. So let's fight these one at a time, shall we? Sensible pause. We're not doing some shenanigans on my warden. There we go, smash! That did some nice damage that time. Probably going to have to fight 2 here, but 2 should be fine. So let's just punch the first one. He's running away. Pummel the second one. That pummel pretty much did 3/4 of his health. So I'm immediately becoming a big fan of the pummel. There we go. We can aggro this one? No. That was a lot easier. Gaz, you're in chat. Hello. Obviously not streaming yourself tonight. You get to watch me play LOTRO instead for a change. So where are we going? Back to Longbarrow. I'm sure, Gaz, you've probably played Brawler already. I don't know what your thoughts are on it. It's interesting enough so far for me. Although I don't know what their reasoning, if they've specified their reasoning why you only get 2 trait trees and kind of a half trait tree for your third one. Longbarrow.
Mercy me.
Alright, you found the leaf. Give it here. Now I'll keep my end of the bargain now. This took you're looking for. Gerabert was his name, eh? And he hid in one of my leaf wagons. Well, I haven't seen him. Eh? I didn't actually say I'd seen this took of yours. I just said I'd tell you what I know. And that's what I know. Now off with you. Classic. He's stitched me up. So back into Tookborough to say that I don't know anything. You've not eaten big. You're going to stream some more Horizon Zero Dawn. You're only up to level 19 on the Brawler. That's not much further than me.
How rude!
Oh, how terrible. That Longo is a rude sort. I'm so sorry he tricked you like that. The next time I see him, I shall have words with him. Now back to the matter of Gerabert. I think I may have just had a thought on who else we might be able to ask if you're still willing to go out and look for him. So we're going to get a shirt, but it is medium armour, which is not particularly useful to us.
Hi there, give me a moment.
So we go for the mushrooms. Can never say no to food as a hobbit. You see, I just had a thought about who else we could ask. My cousin Elder is married to Rolo Boffin in Woodhall. Some didn't consider it a wise marriage, myself included, but they seem happy enough. That, though, is neither here nor there. The importance of Woodhall is that much of the pipeweed from Tookland passes through there for other points in the Shire. Rolo happens to oversee much of that pipeweed. Perhaps since Gerabert hid on a leaf wagon travelling east, Rolo may know something of him. I must say, the less you discover, the more anxious about him I become. Rolo lives in Woodhall, east of Tuckborough, on the Stock Road. So that's 2 quests we've now got in that general direction. So where is Gamma Boffin then? If he's to the north, he's the guy that's in Overhill. Well, those guys are way to the east. Okay. Oh, Life of the Bounder's just the deed, so that can come off. Way of the Maelstrom. We've got a new deed. Use skills that you acquired when specialising as the Maelstrom. So those are going to be hidden from view. God damn it, Standing Stone. So it's got to be the Shattering Fist and the Pummel them. So I've got to use them 100 times. But as I mentioned in the previous stream, there doesn't seem to be a daily cap for any of the Brawler deeds, so we should be able to get them all done at some point. So we don't want to go to Woodhall just yet, because that's quite out of the way. That's a deed. So I guess let's go... Actually, we need to go back to Nickel Delving, don't we? I think we've got a hand in. So we've got one hand in back at the Bird and Baby, so let's do that. And then we can maybe get a horse back across to Hobbiton. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Geekbite in the chat, he plays a lot of LOTRO, so you should go check him out. He's usually streaming on Twitch most days, not necessarily always for LOTRO, but he's a good guy, so you should go watch his stuff. And we also play D&D together over on his Twitch channel, so all the D&D videos that you've seen coming out on the YouTube channel, it's previous recordings of our D&D sessions. So I think the first 7 or so are up on the channel at the moment. I'm just having a bit of technical difficulties editing the latest one. I say the latest one, the next one, because we didn't have the recording saved on anyone's PC, so I'm having to kind of reconstitute it from a couple of different pieces of video and audio. And at some point that'll be up and we'll be up to date. But yeah, we do some silly stuff. Like he says in chat, yeah, we play D&D badly. But it's fine. We've only had 1 death so far. Probably should have had more deaths, given how many people have been downed at various points. Don't know why I'm running to the Stable Master. But only 1 permanent fatality so far, although that was infinitely hilarious when it did happen. So back into the Bird and Baby. Oops, now what idiot would forget to archive a previous broadcast? I don't know. I wonder who that could be. Though to be fair, I didn't record the whole session myself as well, which would have at least had a backup. So...
Good day.
Ah yes, here it is. What's this? A bit of honey, special malt. Yes, that's the ticket. This will be our secret. In the meantime, here, have some of the old stuff on the house. So basically the cheap, nasty brew. It may not win any prizes, but it still goes down easy, don't it? So it's giving me the cheap, nasty booze because I've given him the recipe for the good stuff. I should have arranged for a share of the profits, probably. So... just seen we've got a quest ring up on top of the hill, which is where the Mavum house is located. So that's the Shire Reputation faction. So hobbits, if you've read the book, love giving each other just random presents for no particular reason. They just kind of love giving little knickknacks to one another, and they kind of trade stuff and then they re-gift stuff. But these are all these random Mavums that we hear talked about. And the Mavum Society, they kind of have a little museum up in this little house here. Yes, good day to you. I was wondering if you could do me a favour. I've just received word that Adlard Took has found a copy of the original writ penned by the old king. This writ granted the Fallowhide brothers, Marcho and Blanco, the lands that became the Shire. It is a most exceptional find. True, I already have a copy of the document, but it's in very poor shape. If this copy is in better condition, it would be a marvellous addition to the Mavum house. Would you go to Tookland and speak to Adlard about this find? I believe you can find him in the Great Smiles in Tuckborough. So annoyingly, that's going to send me all the way back. So let's mount up. If it lets me mount. And head back over there. And one of the other things I did actually notice as well before I started the stream, and I don't know where I got this from, but I have a new mount, the Goat of Winter Cheer, which I didn't notice when we originally started at level 1. So I'm not sure where that's come from, but it seems to be Yule Festival related, so I'm not entirely sure how I've earned that one. But maybe someone in chat will know where it gets granted from. It's probably from a box somewhere that I've opened at some point, and it's given me a copy of it. So I do actually have a second goat in my menagerie of various mounts. So go cross country over here. We are very close to hitting level 11. And once we do that, we will get ourselves another trait point. Although this to be nothing exciting, we'll just put it on that extra damage trait that we had available previously. So up the hill we go, and into the Hobbit hole. Just treading all his flowers along the way. Damn it, can't get over that. Jump this. There we go. In we go. But yeah, there's a lot of running around in the Shire.
Oh,
so if you don't like that, then you're kind of a bit screwed and it's going to drive you nuts. Oh dear, you are here for the founding writ. Please don't let Paladin know, but I don't have it. A local farmer, Belko Brockhouse, has it, and he won't give it up. His home is north of here, up the hill, and to the right of the path. And he says he won't give up the writ until he gets a hand with his crops. Honestly, at my age, I can't help with farm labour. I'm sorry to say that if you want the writ, you'll have to speak to him and perhaps lend a hand. The cheek of some hobbits. And he's also got another quest.
Could I take a moment of your time?
The ghost is still in my library. When will it leave me alone? You know, all this started when I was doing a bit of tidying up in there, sending a few things off to the Mavum house and such. I stumbled across an old rocket from the old Took's last Midsummer Eve party. Now, immediately, storing fireworks in your library is probably not a good idea, is it? Let's be honest. Gandalf the Great and he were great friends, you know, and Gandalf would bring the most splendid of fireworks. Perhaps I upset the old Took's ghost when I sent that rocket off to the Mavum house. It could be that he wants to see it fired off. If we could get the rocket back and fire it, that might appease his ghost. Could you speak with Keeper Brombard Foxtail in Mickle Delving and get it? The Mavum house is up on a hill northwest of the centre of Mickle Delving. Once you have the crackers, could you fire them off at the Meville stage in Bywater? So typical. We've got to go all the way back to where I just came from. But I think I'll end up going to Hobbiton next. So the other guy, it sounds like he might just be across this bridge. 143 metres, yeah, it should be. So, there he is, Belko Brockhouse.
Can't a body be left alone?
I have got that piece of parchment that Adlard's wanting. I found it among my mum's things, and I don't mind going off to the Mavum house. I'd rather it go there than into Adlard's collection. But there's a few problems I need help with. See, my fences need mending, my pig has run off, and I need some feed from Hobbiton. If you help me with those tasks, I'll give you the writ. Fair to you? Ding! So, our next point, we're just going to carry on until we've got at least 4 ranks in this. Because once we spent 5 points in tier 1 traits, we unlock tier 2. So that will increase my setup skill damage, so my basic 3 attacks, low strike, dexterous hook, sinister cross. Apply that. Yay, 11. Yes, indeed. So we've got a quest for each of those things that he's talked about.
Could I take a moment of your time?
So my pig, old Sally, when she ain't running loose all over the countryside, eats and eats like you wouldn't believe. Goes for a sack of feed in no time. Never seen a pig with an appetite like hers. I need you to go to the Grange up in Hobbiton and fetch me a sack of feed. Don't worry about talking to Ted Sandyman there to pay for them. I told him someone was going to come by and collect them later today. Now if you want that writ, you'd best be hurrying along. Head north across the Bywater Bridge in Hobbiton and you'll see the Grange right there to your left.
Might I speak with you a moment?
My pig old Sally has run off again. Sometimes I think that pig is more trouble than she's worth. Always running off, eating like a horse and scared of her own shadow. If I weren't so fond of her, I would have made sausage out of her years ago. Usually when she runs off, it's down to the woods southeast of here by the big willow. If you find her, approach her carefully and bring her back to the barn here. Be careful though, she spooks easily, so if she sees anything while you're bringing her back, she might run off, and this time for good. And then lastly,
might I have a word with you?
You see them conies running all over my garden there? Since all them holes appeared in my stone fences, I can't keep the devils out. I've been wanting to gather up some new field stones to patch them up, but I haven't found the time yet to do it. There's a great big willow down the hill and to the southeast, directly south of Longosborough's farm. You can find many stones of different sizes down there. Bring me a variety of them if you would. Never know what I would need to patch the fences. Hurry along now, or I'll be giving the writ to the conies. So, head south. Lost Shire Hobbit. The Shire is a pain for running around, but my friends just asked me where something is, as I pretty much know where everything is, so you're in an encyclopedia of knowledge. It's always useful to know, but some of them are kind of in little quest chains, so you can't do them until certain things have been done before them, which makes life a little bit tricky. But I'm sure a lot of the different things, like delivering the mail, delivering the pies and that, there's like an optimal route that you could take. So if you were doing rolling a new character just to farm the LOTRO points on a new character and then deleting and starting again, which I don't do because I don't have the patience for that, then there's no doubt going to be an optimal route for the order you do the quests in, so that you don't have to run too far. You can just kind of run one town A to B to C to D without having to kind of double back and run without carrying something. So still need a couple more stones. There's one over there. And you say you love the region. Yeah, so normally when I do questing, if I was to roll a new character off stream, I would use Breland pretty consistently. The pig cautiously snorts your hand, but seems satisfied that you mean her no harm. She looks like she's ready to return to Belko's farm. So I presume I've got to get her there without getting in combat, or have I got to protect her? Is she on her own or is she following me? She's taking her own route. Right, you're going to run into combat. God damn it. Yeah, so I prefer Breland just because there's a bit more going on there. And it's not just all quests where you're delivering pies and other nonsense. So you can kind of quest, you can start an archer, go to Combe, go to Staddle. Don't necessarily need to do too much in the Midgewater marshes these days because you get so much XP. Into Bree, out through the west of Bree, quickly go around to like Tuckborough, not Tuckborough, brain fart. What's it called? The Hobbit place. Buckland. There we go. I got it just before you did, Keepy. But yeah, go to Buckland, go in the Old Forest, sweep up there, Barrow Downs, job done. And by that point, you're pretty high level. Or if you really want to speed run it, you could be going into Barrow Downs, maybe slightly under level, just to make things a little bit more interesting for yourself. Old Sally.exe has stopped responding. There we go. Yeah, with the Shire, it's a lot of running around, and it's a bit slower to get your XP basically, because it's a lot slower between all the quest hand-ins. It's just like an odd couple of quests here, an odd couple there. Goodbye, Morano. Good job. Lost Shire Hobbit. Yeah, Staddle is another Hobbit place. I just couldn't remember the name of Buckland. I was thinking, God damn it, it's the other place. Not Tuckborough, where Peregrine comes from, Pippin. But where Meriadoc Brandybuck, aka Merry, comes from. And also where Frodo's parents died. Right, we should be alright now. I imagine we're not going to be ambushed by any more stuff. And where's the sack of feed? It's up in Hobbiton. It should be near Gaffer Gamgee, by the looks of it. Why do you have to take the cross-country route? You're just asking for trouble. We could walk along the road where we're not going to get attacked, instead of going cross-country. This is why you get yourself into trouble. Where are you even going? You're going indoors? Take that as a yes. Right, let's go hand in this one. Or two even.
Huh, how rude!
Ah, good. The old girl is back. She's a nuisance at times, that one, but in the end I suppose I'm too fond of her to do much else with her. Thanks for doing that, but I suppose I owe you the real thanks to that writ I found, don't I?
It's been a foul day, it has.
These stones will do nicely for my fences. Never thought I'd find the time to gather them up, but it seems things are changing a bit for me since finding that old writ. So 2 down, 1 to go. So off to Hobbiton next. Let's mount up. We might as well, while we're over there, pick up all the quests that are down near the Stable Master, because I'm sure we'll end up running around at some point to do them all. Might as well get him in our quest tracker now. So yeah, loads of nosy hobbits and hungry hobbits on the road. If you're ever delivering mail or pies, stay off the road. We've unlocked the Stable Master, so I think the first quest to give her is going to be inside the Ivy Bush Inn. So most of the Hobbit settlements will have a tavern of some description.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
So if you've ever done any of the festival quests, there is a pub crawl around the Shire to do them all. Welcome to Hobbiton, Silry. It is always nice to see new folk, and I think it's important to strengthen the bonds of friendship. I think you should call on Bounder Chubb in Needlehole and see if he has any work that needs doing. Needlehole has become such a busy place that it may require its own sheriff soon. Needlehole is due north of Mickle Delving, some distance past Little Delving, northwest of here. Don't be surprised if you find some dwarves there. Needlehole is on the road to Ered Luin, and we've had more dwarf traders coming through that way of late. You'll probably find Bounder Chubb on duty near the entrance to town. So that's a second vector quest we've got to Needlehole now. But otherwise, we can ignore that because we'll pretty much automatically complete that whenever we go in that direction. So next, I can't remember. I think you wanted to go to Overhill, wasn't it?
Might I speak with you a moment?
So we won't do you just yet. Holly Hornblower is the mistress that gives us all the bloody pies to deliver.
Could I take a moment of your time?
You want to send us to the Green Dragon, so that's not too far. So the Green Dragon is in Bywater, just to the east. That's not too bad.
Might I have a word with you?
Just who I wanted to see. I've got something very important for the likes of you. I'm up to my ears in people wanting my pies. Now, I'm not complaining. It's good that people love my pies. But I've not the time to deliver them. Right now, I've got one that simply has to be taken to the Green Dragon. Would you take it there? The pie is calling on the table over there. Take it to Gerd Whitfoot, southeast of here in Bywater, and be quick about it. I'm known for delivering hot pies, and if it calls too much, I won't get paid. Also, don't let any hungry hobbits catch a whiff of the pie, or they'll be over here pestering me for a slice, and I don't have time for that either. So something I've just thought of while I was reading that I've never really considered before, is that basically we're just like Just Eat or Uber Eats or Deliveroo or whatever. Take your pick of delivery apps from wherever you're from. We're basically just one of them for the Shire. I didn't actually pick up the pie, I'm just running speed running to the Green Dragon. Got halfway there before I realised, hang on a minute, I'm on a horse and that ain't right. There we go. Right, take two. Pick up the pie, and like the mail, we are going to get a bit of lag interrupted me. Take three. There we go. So we will get a run speed buff. So it sets our run speed to 120%. Hot pie coming through. So this one's fairly easy. If I remember correctly, there's just one we need to avoid just as we're coming into Bywater proper. So we can just pretty much take this road direct. Just keep an eye on the mini-map for any little eyeball symbols. There's some more quest givers down here. Or maybe there isn't one. So, what are we doing? Gerd Whitfoot. There he is, right in front of the Green Dragon. Thanks, friend. It smells a bit odd, though. That's probably gone off. So we can talk to Holly Hornblower. But while I'm here, I'm going to go inside the Green Dragon. Because he's got a quest ring for me.
Might I have a word with you?
Well, I suppose you'd like a mug of our justly famous Green Dragon's Breath beer. Well, we've plenty to spare. But I say, I've heard of you around the Shire. They say you're good at solving problems. Well, I've got a little problem of my own. The annual 4 Farthings brewing moot is coming up, and old Gerd wants to enter some of our special reserve in the judging. But the thing of it is, for the special Gerd uses old barrels from Ered Luin that the dwarves used for brandy. Every year, a dwarf merchant he knows delivers a barrel. This year, though, it seems the poor fellow was waylaid by huge beastly spiders near Overhill, and in his hurry to get away, he lost the barrel from his wagon. I wonder if you can head up to Overhill and look to the northwest of town for the barrel. It would mean a lot to Gerd to enter the judging with his best beer. So grab that. That'll probably be one we end up doing a lot later. So that's all the way up there. Now I don't know why his little dwarf friend is over there and lost the barrel in the hills, because they would have come along this road from Needlehull and theoretically gone through Waymeet and then east. Nowhere near here, because they would have had to go through the marshes, up into the hills again, and get lost. So he's up there for plot reasons. So let's mount back up, head back across to Hobbiton. But for some of the questing, you might hear places referred to as Hobbiton by water. Just because the two towns are very close together, but Hobbiton is kind of everywhere Slightly north and slightly south of the bridge, by Hobson on the Stable Master. Bywater is out kind of off to the east, which is its own little separate town. Where are we going? I've got lost now. You're behind, aren't you? There we are.
What do you need?
Smelled a bit off, he says. That Gerd Whitfoot couldn't smell a pig farm if he was in the middle of it. Anyway, there's another pie that needs to be delivered, and the one waiting for this pie isn't quite so friendly as Gerd over in Bywater.
Please, stay a moment.
It's for Lobelia, so that's fine, because we need to go over that way anyway. Lobelia Sackville-Baggins has been fussing and bothering everyone about this party of hers for a while now, but evidently that wasn't enough for her, so she's brought on another hobbit, Opal Goodbody, to help her. Poor Opal has been so harried by Lobelia that she's snapping at everyone. She's been after me for a pie, but being not too fond of Lobelia, I've put it off. But I couldn't put it off any longer, so today I made the pie she's been after. The pie is calling on the table over there. Take it up to Opal at the party field, but remember, even though this pie is for Lobelia, it must be hot when you deliver it. Keep it away from those hungry hobbits. I don't want them pestering me. Lost Shire Hobbit. Classic Bow. Opens map, gets lost. Yep. Classic me. So, make sure it has picked up the pie this time. So, our first hobbit we've got to sneak past is literally just this side of the bridge. So, we might need to get a little bit tactical. I think they're actually turning around already. Maybe. Actually, no, I think you're just passing. Yeah, I think you just crossed the road sideways. So, if I give it extra wide... Are you kidding me? That close? That's bullshit. I was nowhere near you. Okay. We're going to have to cross the bridge elsewhere. If we can't cross the bridge, we might need to cross further east, perhaps, in the shallows. I don't know if I could do that on foot. Right. That's not going to be enough, is it? No. I'll have to go all the way over there to that bridge then, I think. Just to be on the safe side. Bridge to the right near the fishing area. Yeah, it's that one over there. Alright, let's pick that quest up again. We're going over here. So that's a bit annoying because it's right out our way.
Might I speak with you a moment?
I swear that hobbit's got better noses than the rest of them do. Right, so this time... Oops. Let's go east. I don't think there's any hobbits over near this bridge. Finds out this game is very hard. I would say it's not that hard. There might be bits of it that are hard, particularly for solo players. The earlier content tends to be fairly easy these days. Unless you're religious about trying to get to level 20 unscathed without dying for your deed. And sometimes you might... Ah! What is going on? What is going on there? I was rubber banding horrifically. Are we satisfied I'm on the bridge this time? I don't want to walk in the water. There we go. Right. Pay attention to the minimap. Yeah, some of the content's easier than others, and there's also, since I stopped playing, they did add some degree of difficulty options in the options somewhere, which is probably something I should have a look at. Where you can kind of nerf yourself a bit, I think. But given that was introduced at a time where I was having a bit of a break from the game, I haven't really had a chance to kind of dabble with that. So it's looking good so far. No one's around. This is the main road on the other side of the bridge. This is the party area. Now I need to go over here at some point and get some feed for Rocco or whatever his name was. No sign of any other hungry hobbits. So she should be at the back here by the ovens. There she is, Opal Goodbody. And I'm actually running pretty low on my timer, so in the nick of time. She's going to taste test it. Difficulty options are only on legendary servers at the moment, I believe. Maybe only on Tree and Shadow. Let's have a look. I have no idea where it would be though. Combat options? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it is only on the legendaries. Could well be. Like I say, I haven't really dabbled in this. Anyway, let's mount back up. Let's go up to Bag End because I do need to speak to Lobelia for the prologue quest. Because I don't know where it's going to send us after her. Up we go. So she's trying to take ownership of Bag End since Bilbo's long since gone off and Frodo's now gone off to Bree and God knows where. It's a quest pickup in the starter areas and you can't remember the NPC name. Well, I'm not going to know it, that's for sure.
I want a word with you.
So this is a new quest. You there! Yes, I mean you! Come over here. I've work for you. I simply must have fireworks for my birthday party. More and brighter than Mad Bilbo ever had. I hear that Hyacinth Took over in Tuckborough has learned to make them, no doubt from that queer Gandalf fellow. You go over there and tell her that I want a dozen large crates of her best fireworks. She lives west of the Great Smiles. Of course, I'll pay you if you insist. What a nuisance. I thought bounders, or whatever you are, were supposed to do for us Shire folk out of duty. So yeah, she thinks I'm her slave, basically.
Can't a body be left alone?
And then this is the next step of our prologue quest. So, I heard about the troubles my nephew Mundo went through in Breeland. I assume you're here with old Flower Dumpling's coin purse to repay us for Mundo's hardship. You're not? What is this nonsense? Whitfoot doesn't have an ounce of sense in that fat head of his. It doesn't surprise me that it didn't have the courage to come and tell me this himself, but he'll regret it. I'll go to Mickle Delving to see him personally and tell him in no uncertain terms what I think of him. What use is he as mayor anyway? And what use are the bounders for that matter? My nephew has gone through so much, and he was barely outside the bounds. So he was completely outside the bounds of the Shire, given that he was about 2/3 of the way across Breeland as well while we're at it. Why do we even need a mayor? Or bounders or sheriffs, if they can't keep my nephew from being threatened and abducted and put through all kinds of hardship? The Sackville Bagginses are a very important family in these parts. I've heard that there are goblins on the edges of the Shire. Goblins! If you ask me, you should stop running pointless errands for our fat mare and do something about them. So she's basically going full Nigel Farage now, if you know who he is. And if you do, I'm sorry. I've heard that Wilcom Tunnelly, the quarry supervisor in Scary, has seen goblins on the greenfields. Talk to him and get to the bottom of this, Silvery. Goblins. Yeah, they're coming in across in dinghies from Evandim. So, right, where are we going? Mount back up. So we need to get the sack of feed. It should be somewhere south of the party tree, somewhere near Gaffer Gamgee's house. So I don't know whether Ted Sandyman is one of his neighbours or whether he's in the farm field downstairs. There we go. We've got Gaffer Gamgee. So this is Samwise's dad. Effectively Bilbo's gardener. So he lives in one of these houses underneath the party tree at the bottom of the hill, as does a couple of his neighbours who, if memory serves, we don't know who lives there. Because I was having a look at Fellowship of the Ring recently, kind of going through the first chapter, but I don't think they actually name who lives there. So Fallen Apples.
Boy there, give me a moment.
You're new, aren't you? There's work that needs doing, but I can't do it myself. I should be gardening over at Bag End, but Mr. Lofo now, he says he and his bar don't need my services no more. Me has worked the land for Mr. Bilbo and Mr. Frodo. The apples in that there orchard are going to rot there on the ground unless someone gathers them. Why don't you head over and see if they're still any good? Those Sackville Bagginses mustn't want common folk like me on their land, but there's naught they can do, eh? The orchard is just up that hill to the northwest. And the bag of feed. Now, is this going to be an induction? Please don't. Damn it. I knew it. Well, right, we're running this back then to the south. So at least we don't have to worry about any nosy or hungry hobbits. Oh, there's Ted Sandyman there. So I think I remember, yeah, doesn't he own the mill? I think we've got a couple of other things to do while we get back to Tookland as well. Damn it, we can't talk to Holly Hornblower on the way past, given that we need to tell her that we've delivered her pie. So we'll have to do that on the way back as well. Did spend my trait point, didn't I? Yeah. So up the hill, running up the hill, or carrying a big sack. Getting in now, our daily steps. Hop the fence. Should probably clear out all this loot as well. John Bastian, Ted Sandyman plays a major part in the scouring of the Shire, I believe. It's been ages since I've read the books. And obviously they didn't do the scouring of the Shire in the movies, so I cannot remember for the life of me.
Might I speak with you a moment?
I suppose you've done enough for me, although I'm going to miss the extra help around the farm here. And old Sally seems to have taken a liking to you, although that could just be because you brought her feed. Here's the copy of the writ I found in my mum's things. Take it over to Keeper Brock Foxtail at the Mavum House in Mickle Delving, and make sure you don't let that Adelard Took have it. I don't want it near his collection. So there we go, he's happy. We need to speak to Hyacinth Took. Is she in the Smiles? No, she's outside, I think. So up and over.
Hello.
Oh really? Fireworks for Lobelia Sackville Baggins, is it? I'm almost happy to be able to tell you that I'm out of both fireworks and the ingredients to make them. The truth is, I made up a whole batch recently, but it was stolen, and the Bounders haven't been much help getting it back, begging your pardon. If Lobelia really wants the fireworks for her party, there will be a lot of purchases she has to make. There's charcoal, saltpeter, brimstone, and iron filings to buy, among other things. So you go back to Lobelia and make sure she's willing to pay for all this. If she still wants them, come back here and I'll lay out all the things you need to do. So basically tell her to cough up. Keepy, I vaguely remember Sandyman being the miller, but I think Ted is the son. I can't remember anything about the scouring, unfortunately. So yeah, it's quite possible there are more of them. Heading back north then. So, we've got a couple to hand in back in Mickle Delving, and we've got a couple to hand in Hobbiton at the minute. So let's hand in the Hobbiton ones first. So I think the first one's going to be Holly Hornblower. Where's your next pie going to go?
Is there something I can do for you?
What? My pie tasted foul? Of all the rude things to say. Here, let me taste this one I'm working on now. Oh, these berries are bad. Oh no! Oh no! Do you know how many pies I've made with these berries? I simply must get to making new pies for all those people. I haven't the time to talk right now, but I'm glad you found this out for me. And if you come across any of the pies I sent out, please bring them to me. Tell them that I will bake them a fresh pie as soon as I can. I simply can't allow people to eat bad pies. So not only have we had to deliver loads of pies, but they were bad pies, and we're going to have to do it all again. Right, so we don't want to do that one just yet. There we go. So we've done the pie carrying prologue essentially. So we need to retrieve all the dodgy pies from all the towns. Now there is a spoiled pie in Hobbiton, so that's presumably the Lobelia one that we just delivered recently. So we're going to go to the orchard. which is just up on the west of Bag End on the hill. Going to collect the apples for Gaffer Gamgee. John Bastian, yes, something like that. It's still a shame they cut it from the films. It would have been spectacular to see the Shire burning with the fires of industry. Certainly would have been interesting to see that put to film. But at the same time, I can kind of understand why they left it out of the adaptation. Not least of which because there would have been even more stuff going on at the end of Return of the King. But it's kind of... You kind of reach the kind of various climaxes of the story. You know, you've got the like the action climaxes of the battle at the Black Gate. You've got the kind of the climax with the ring at Mount Doom. You know, Gondor's back up to full strength. Then you kind of have this whole entire separate story at the end, and Saruman appears again. So it's kind of you can kind of understand why they left it out, because it kind of doesn't really suit the film adaptation. Otherwise, you would have kind of told this whole separate little story at the end of the film. And we all know how long Return of the King already is, even without the extended editions. Shohan Russ, the peace in the Shire makes it seem like there was no war outside. Yeah, it's all nice and peaceful for now, at least. We'll probably see some sort of scouring of the Shire at some point in the game, though. Okay, Opal Goodbody. We probably should speak to Gaffer Gamgee first, but I suppose we're not going to go too far out of the way.
You give me a moment.
Back again, are you? What did Holly say about that pie you brought me? The berries are bad, aren't they? I simply have no time for this sort of trouble. Lobelia has been after me for days to get the desserts for the set for the party. When I finally get a pie from Holly, it's spoiled. Take that terrible pie back to Holly Hornblower and tell her that I want another pie immediately. Her home is north of Hobbiton on the main square. Now off with you, I can't tolerate no further delay. So pick up Dodgy Pie. Now, amusingly, we still have to avoid hungry hobbits, because they can still smell a pie and they still want to eat it, even though it's going to give them food poisoning. So, annoyingly, I'm going to have to take the long way round again, because that hobbit's still going to be there. So we're going to have to go east, cross the fishing bridge again. And then whip it back west into the north, well, the south side of Hobbiton, below the bridge. So there's the bridge we want over there. Just make sure there's no puddles we're going to walk in, because if we end up swimming, we will drop our pie, and that will be very sad, because it means I've wasted all this time and have to go back and do it again. And hopefully I won't end up glitching into that little garden bit over here. Right. Oops. Boing. So, might as well take the pie deed off the tracker at the minute. If we see pies, we'll bring them back at some point. But it's going to be a bit tedious. The ones that are nearby Hobbiton aren't too bad. It's the ones that are in the towns. Oh, hello, there's a hobbit to my left. It's getting maybe a little bit too close to that one. But some of the further afield towns can be a bit of a pain in the backside to have to bring it. There we go. Ding. So, mount up. Let's go back to Gaffer Gamgee. I need to talk to Lobelia as well. Leo, a hobbit will probably encounter so many spoiled pies in its lifetime that they will get immunity from food poisoning. That is probably quite true. With all the things that they eat, drink and smoke, they probably have a robust stomach. Or at least should do anyway. Actually no, Gaffer Gamgee's down here.
Is there something I can do for you?
That Lofo won't be the ruin at Bag End so long as I've something to say about it. Thank you for your help, kind Sylvie. So no follow-up for you. Let's mount up and speak to Lobelia. Shohan, I know you've uploaded that one stream of Guild Wars 2, but will you ever go back to it with the new expansion in the Camphor Continent? So something I've thought about doing at some point is kind of similar to how we've got a Let's Play LOTRO. I figured I might sit down at some point and do a series doing Guild Wars for those that might be interested. Maybe people won't be. We'll see. But it could be something interesting to do.
Well, the gall of some folk.
Pay for the ingredients. Why, I never. I suppose I must if all our stock was stolen. Here, take these coins to that took. These had better be the best fireworks the Shire has ever seen. Yeah, I do enjoy Guild Wars. Guild Wars is very good as a second or any MMO that's not your main MMO. And the reason I say that is with the game, I mean, it's completely free to play now for the base game. So you can start playing for free. The expansions you have to buy, that is literally all you buy. There's no unlocking of quest packs or anything like that. At early levels, if you haven't bought any of the paid expansions, it just means you're stuck to your racial kind of starting regions. But where there is a level cap in Guild Wars, it is the same level cap all the time. So essentially your leveling experience from 1 to level 80 is kind of like your learning to ride the bike kind of experience. And at level 80, you kind of have a load of like sideways progression stuff to unlock things. So you can still progress your character, but you don't have what you have in most MMOs, which is what happens when you have a level experience cap raise. It tends to invalidate all the gear that you've acquired previously and force you to regrind it, which can be really tedious, and particularly if you don't have much time to play an MMO, it can be a bit of a pain in the backside. But with Guild Wars, like you can slowly grind your way up to having some good gear or great gear or the absolute best gear in slot. But then once you've got it, you can kind of keep it on those characters. So you can kind of come back playing after a couple of months break, a couple of years break, and you don't have to regrind to get where you are, which is always nice. So Hyacinth, the old crow actually paid. I'm astonished. She must really want these fireworks. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Might I have a word with you?
Well, if the old crow is willing to pay, then I suppose I'll have to oblige her. First, I'll send you out after Saltpeter. My friend Cam Puddifoot, the pig farmer in Budgeford, can usually supply some. He's got the biggest manure pits in the whole Shire. Cam will let me know when he needs payment, so you need not carry coin with you. He hardly has use for saltpeter. And I think I saw another quest ring over here. So it's just outside the other side of town. Let's mount up.
Hi there! Give me a moment.
Well, hello there. What can I do for you today? A slice of pie, perhaps? It's from Holly Hornblower in Hobbiton. She bakes a fine pie. I could learn a thing or two from her. Spoiled berries? Well, I was right. I could learn something from Holly. Always taste your berries before you bake them into a pie. Poor thing, she must be terribly embarrassed. Well, here, take that pie back to her. Her home is north of the main square of Hobbiton. Tell the dear thing to take her time baking me a new one. So she's taken this one kindly. Probably because she hasn't tasted it. Right, so let's grab that. I think we'll stay off the road because I'm sure there's a hobbit somewhere. What do I think of Guild War 2's lore compared to LOTRO? So, I didn't play the original Guild Wars, so there's a whole host of lore that comes with the original game, and then in the new game is set a period of time later. I don't know what it is, but probably of the order of hundreds of years, I think it is. Maybe a couple of centuries, if that. But obviously the lore is going to be nowhere near as detailed and as rich as the whole of the Middle-earth lore, because Professor Tolkien did go crazy, let's be honest. it wasn't just the world building. Obviously, he made all these languages and stuff like that. So I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone that would have spent as much time world building as Tolkien did for Middle Earth. But the whole lore around Guild Wars 2 and the world of Tyrion and that, it's interesting enough, even if it's not quite as vast. So there we go, another pie done. What do we need to do? Cam Puddyfoot, where are you? He's all the way over in Budgeford, over to the east. We've still got to bring a quest over back to the Madam House. So I think what we're going to do now, we will finally take up Postman Chubb's offer.
Might I have a word with you?
And we're going to take the bundle for Overhill. So I have recently received a great many complaints concerning the amount of time it takes the quick post service to deliver packages and mail. Admittedly, most of these complaints have come from Lobelia Sackville-Baggins and her son Lotho, but some respectable hobbits have complained as well. We need to do something about this, certainly. If you'd like to help out, there on the table you will find a satchel for delivery to Postman Boffin in Overhill. Overhill is a good distance north of here, nestled in the Bindbowl Wood, and Postman Boffin should be right in the centre of town. Look out for nosy hobbits, for they will delay you and keep you from delivering the mail on time. And don't let the mail satchel get wet. If the ink on the letters runs, the good hobbits of Overhill are sure to be upset with us. So let's grab them out. Once again, we're on the clock. Now, there is a hobbit just to the east of the postmaster, but I can just slide past him. Where is he? I can't actually see him. Or is he in front of that house, maybe? So we can cross the bridge, and it's pretty much just follow this road north, but we might need to go cross country a little bit if we see any hobbits. Where am I up to? I've lost my place in the chat now. Lomoin, taste her pie. Yes. Sounds a bit suspicious, doesn't it? Shohan, glad to hear. Will be cool to see your way of playing and talking through different MMOs. I've watched your LOTRO Let's Plays since the Isengard expansion. Another repeat customer, so thanks for watching. Yeah, I'll probably do it at some point now. For those that have played Guild Wars, the questing system is completely different to LOTRO. So there's less open world quests, and it's more dynamically generated content. So there'll be events and other things going on in the world. But if I do something with Guild Wars, I'll probably run through each region in turn, same like I do for LOTRO, and see how we go. But I haven't tried doing that yet. And the other thing as well, when you build a character, oh hello, there's a hobbit down here. Let's go off the road. When you build a character, you choose a number of different bits to your backstory. So I think there's like 3 key pieces that will kind of decide what your early game questing experience is going to be. So the first 3 acts of... There we go, there he is. The first 3 acts of the story are kind of based on the choices you make there. So each race has different choices. So there's a number of combinations that, I don't know, where it's like 3 or 4 options for each of these questions you get given. So there's maybe like 30 different options per race for how you can combine those 3 things. So I'm certainly not going to do every possible permutation of it, but we'll see. But it would be nice. I do enjoy Guild Wars. I'll definitely be playing my endgame characters through the new expansion in Guild Wars. Whether I choose to record that, I don't know. We'll see how we go on that one. But it would probably be good. It's got a very good main quest line, main storyline. So I might record that at some point. We'll see. Could be something nice to do at some point during the year.
Stay and have some tea.
So the next post is for Bywater. So that is going to go take us back down south over there. So whenever we're done here, we could go and hand that one in. What have we got around town? Primula Diggins.
What do you need?
Can't do your quest yet. That's a grey one.
Hello.
Ofo
something I
Broadbelt.
can do for you?
I'm not too far away from you. Come on.
Hello there.
I'm glad you're here to help. I was just bringing my wagon back from Bree, loaded down with a big bag of mushrooms, and suddenly my cart was boiling over with spiders. I've never seen such spiders before. All I can think is that I picked up their eggs with my mushrooms. I need what trade goods still remain from my wagon. Please, it's just off the road to the northeast, right next to the falls. There must be spiders all over the place up there, so it may be dangerous. These mushrooms are my livelihood. If you could bring them back to me, I would be most grateful. Now, I hate mushrooms, and the only thing I would hate more than mushrooms is mushrooms that have had spiders crawling all over them.
Hello there.
What's that? Knees? You skinned your knee? Oh, bees. Yes, I can make a salve against stings, but I'll need some ingredients first. Find me 4 toadstones from any of the toads around the Shire. Mind you, not all toads have got them. Eh? Where to find them? Well, one place is the bog. Look in the west side of Rishuk Bog, west of here, beyond Hobbiton. Or if you like, you can find plenty of toads in the marsh just north of Frogmorton. Don't look so funny, the salve's no good without toadstones. Quite a few quests here.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
I've lost my lucky slingstone. I've just dropped a deer when suddenly a bear, a huge brown bear it was too, grabbed the kill and dragged it off. I don't care about the venison, but I need my lucky slingstone. I can't hunt without it. Please help me if you can and get back that slingstone from the deer's carcass. The bear dragged it off into that big den north of here. He's probably on the slopes north of the Bolestones, feasting on the deer I killed. All my luck has gone away with that stone. Sad times. And that's all the quests here. So, right. So there's a couple to the bridge to the northeast, and then the frogs are the ones that are kind of indicated there. So we'll mount up, head east. Lost Shire Hobbit. Oh yeah, Bal. I'm currently watching Edlanio again. So that is Mirkwood. If I remember correctly. I think that's the only region I've done with Edlanio. Unless I did a lower region with her as well. Leo, gonna try and do the chicken run now while I watch and listen to the stream. Well, good luck. Try not to get yourself killed. Because if you get found as a chicken, you're going to die, as opposed to me getting found by nosy or hungry hobbits, and all I get is a failed quest. So it's a bit more hassle. And for those of you in chat that haven't seen that time that we did a chicken run, I think we were trying to get to the Gap of Rohan or Isengard or something like that. And we made it pretty far, and then I think a lot of us ended up dying in like Enidwaith or something like that. Nope, this one.
Good day.
Thank you very much, but you say there were no spiders at all? I swear it seemed like there were dozens of them. They were huge, monstrous things too. I wonder where they could have run off to.
Could I take a moment of your time?
I hate to make more work for you, but it seems that the spiders infesting my wagon have run off somewhere. If they grow and breed, they may become a threat elsewhere in the Shire. I think you should report this to the Sheriff in Hobbiton, Robin Smallborough, and see what he thinks should be done. Robin Smallborough can usually be found at the Ivy Bush Inn in Hobbiton, town centre. The last thing the Shire needs is an infestation of spiders nearly as big as a hobbit. I can agree with you on that. So next, we need toadstones. So we're probably going to head west towards the bog to try and pick those up. Natural 20s. Dude, I've been playing LOTRO since pre-Riders of Rohan, and I just wanted to say that still seeing people creating content, posting raid guides or class builds, it warms my heart. Keep doing what you're doing, mate. Thank you very much. To be honest, from my perspective, I think there's a lot more people doing LOTRO content than there was when I started. Back when I started doing the Let's Play, I don't know how long it's been actually. I probably should check that because I've got a sneaking suspicion it could be, if not already past the 10-year point, probably quite close. But when I started, there were only a couple of people, and I'm sure I might have said this in a recent stream, that there's maybe a couple of other people that were doing it, at least on YouTube. So the ones that spring to mind are Andang, who's still going. He's doing a lot of stuff these days. He's quite well known. And a guy called Kazkaval. and I'm not sure if he's still doing content. And then there was me doing my stuff. But these days, there's a lot more people that are doing it on YouTube. The community that does a lot of the cosmetic guides, and there's loads of websites that do cosmetics. Although I think one of the more notable ones, I think, shut down the end of last year, perhaps. And obviously, there's quite a few people on Twitch, and ever since Standing Stone kind of embraced some of the Twitch streamers, they kind of like get them to stream on the main channel for the game. So I think there's certainly more people doing content these days than there used to be. Maybe not as much as other games, but there's certainly people out there. I should probably do an obligatory shout out for Geekbite, aka Gaz, who's a good mate of mine. He plays LOTRO quite a lot, mainly on Twitch, but he uploads his stuff afterwards as well on YouTube. Since we play a bit of D&D and other games together on and off stream, so I'm running around killing everything. Oh, it's toads that I need, but I'm not finding any toads. I mean, slugs. If I see slugs, it's always worth killing slugs in the Rishok bog for the slug killing deed. I think there should be at least one toad on the big hill over here. No? Bog toad, there we go. So I'm falling way behind in the chat. So natural 20s, the heart system's a little weird. Talking about Guild Wars, yeah. So if you're not used to it, it's a bit strange how the quests get given out. I mean, you still have like an NPC quest giver, but rather than having to talk to them, you kind of get credit for doing quests in their general vicinity. And there's usually various ways that you can contribute. So it isn't just a case of go here, kill 10 rats. You could, kill 10 rats or speak to some people or do something else. There's usually like 3 or 4 different options you can use to progress your participation for certain quest givers. Go away, gnats. But it does mean that you can kind of choose what you do. So if you prefer doing combat rather than social stuff, you can do that. Or if you hate certain things, you can do something else. There's always something you can do that you can kind of enjoy rather than being forced to do quests that you don't like that style of quest. I think we should probably go south. Let's see if we find some more toads. Shohan, did you ever have a Let's Play with a Stout Axe character by any chance? Would be interested to see how you build that character. I've kept my Mordor title on my Stout Axe. No, I haven't actually done a Stout Axe character. I'll be honest, I mean, I haven't looked into it in great detail. But as far as I'm concerned, it's basically just another dwarf. Similar to kind of the high elf. In the grand scheme of things, isn't that functionally different to a normal elf. I appreciate there might be some distinctions that I'm not aware of, like high elves get some unique sounds and animations that elves don't, as we've seen recently with Aureen when we did Ered Luin. There's another one. But yeah, I haven't rolled a Stout Axe at all yet. I don't actually have one in my roster, so I can't really tell you too much about that, unfortunately. Maybe I will roll up one at some point, just using one of the future regions. That will mean levelling one though, since I can't just roll a level 1 character, since this is the last starter region that we never covered originally in the game. Keepy, you have to find a cart to the north, you think? Yeah, the spider ones should be up to the north of where I was previously. Natural 20, what server are you playing on? I'm playing on Laurelin, which is one of the European servers. It is the one that tends to be a bit more roleplay focused, so you tend to get quite a lot of events going on, people doing various lore-related activities. Don't tend to see loads of people actually role-playing in-game as much these days, because it's kind of, ever since the last round of server merges, there's kind of a load of people that came here from previous servers, myself included. What was the server I used to be on? I can't remember. Keepy, if you're in chat, can you remember what our old server used to be called? Snowborn, wasn't it? I'm sure it's Snowborn. That's a slug. I'll kill the slug. I've got the toads actually. I can leave the bog now. Snowborn was the old server. Yeah, I thought so. So Snowborn, of course, is a Rohirrim settlement, which is in the East Rohan region. Although obviously when we joined our server originally, that didn't exist in game because Rohan got added much later. So I think we're going back to Overhill then, and hand in those bits and pieces. So a little bit of riding now. Yeah, so Shohan's already answered what server. They have a really cool Discord group as well. I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me. I'm sure there are quite a few LOTRO Discord community groups, whether it's going to be role-playing or raiding or whatever else. Lost Shire Hobbit, episode 201, I'm guessing that's where you're currently watching. And it was Rohan and then Trolls in Isengard were mentioned, and one of the group got higher up in their human form. Okay, so you're talking about the chicken run. Yeah, so one of our little silly episodes, but you can go a lot further afield as a chicken these days, and I'm sure they've added more quests, but I'm not necessarily sure what they are. I know people have tried doing chicken runs where they get down to like Gondor or taking the chicken all the way to Mordor or God knows where these days. Keepy, looking back at your first vid in this series, Let's Play LOTRO number 1, it was 16th of May 2013. Okay, so I haven't missed the 10th anniversary, that's good. At the same time, it is very much a casual stroll to Mordor if in 8.5 kind of years. I'm essentially not even in Rohan. And should be long past that point at this time if I didn't take a break in the game. Turn this in then. So toadstones, such a terrible trouble to get them. Salve would be easier to make if not for the hunting, eh?
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
I've got the salve ready for you, my dear, whenever you're ready for it. But remember, it will only last a few minutes before it wears off, so you'd best hurry back and find a hive for Farmer Proudfoot. I expect you will find beehives in the woods southeast of Tuckborough. Find a big one for Polo and take it to him at his meadow nearby. If you're carrying a delicate beehive around, you may not be able to fight off any bears or such that may be drawn to the hive, so tread carefully. Is this going to instantly put me on a timer? It is. Bugger. Right. Let's put that as quest guide focus. We need to go south. And we need to do that immediately before our 15-minute timer runs out. So natural 20, talking about Guild Wars again. So quests essentially auto pop up. You have a heart to fill gold, fill to gold, and killing stuff, activating certain things, etc. Yeah. So as I said, you can do various things to complete the quest rather than particular objectives, which is nice. Shohan, haha, a female stout axe dwarf would be fun if you ever want to do it one day. I will be sure to keep that in mind. I think I've only got one dwarf in my roster, which is the dwarf formerly known as Carmel. He got renamed at some point in the server merge. He was the one character whose name I couldn't keep, which may or may not be because it is very close to the name of the Lieutenant of Dol Guldur. I think I had an R in my name, Kharmal, and the Lieutenant of Dol Guldur is just Khamul, if I remember correctly. So I don't know whether the name was in use or whether it was just prohibited on lore grounds. Keepy, Wing Under the Mountain is one. I can't remember the I assume that's meant to be Ministerial one. I I guess you're talking about the chicken quests. And then last bit to get me back up to date on the chat. Leo, I'm attempting to run there and back again, where I have to go all the way to the Vales of the Anduin. So, trying to think the ways you could go there now, because you can cross the Misty Mountains in so many places these days. Before, you would have had to go through the Gap of Rohan. I'm pretty sure you can cross the Misty Mountains region now. I'm not going to stop to check just because I'm on the clock, but I'm sure you can get across to the east side from the Misty Mountains, and I'm sure you can now also go across from Angmar into Gundabad. So you've got a couple of options there. Find a wild beehive before it salve dries. Yep, got that. Right, bring it back without aggroing a bear. And take it to Polo Proudfoot, who hopefully is just on the road up here. Okay, well that wasn't too bad. There we go. So I've reclaimed some wild bees.
Oh, gracious me!
That new hive will do nicely. I'll just give the bees a while to get used to their new home. In the meantime, please take this reward. You deserve it. So we can have a light armor helm, but we're a heavy armor class, a light armor cloak, medium boots, or a heavy chest piece. So the heavy chest piece is an upgrade. Pretty much double the armor value and some might. So I'll take that. I'll equip it. We have a ding to level 12, but no trait point this time. You have a quest ring, but you won't talk to me. Come on, are you going to give me a quest after you finish talking? No? Okay, well, screw you then. Mount back up. The ring on the map is a bug. A bug in LOTRO? No! Surely not. Right, we're going back to Hobbiton. So we've got our Slug Slayer deed on the tracker. What other hand-ins have we still got to do? So that one is in Mickle Delving, that's in Needlehole, that's in Woodhall. The Dwarf Barrel is up north above Overhill, so we can probably put that one on the tracker now. Last of the Fireworks is back at Mickle Delving. That's to go speak to the Breetown Mayor. And that's to go to the quarry. So yeah, just these four I think we'll have on the tracker for now. We needed to speak to Robin Smallborough.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Although Broadbelt was right to be concerned, I've already had reports of dangerous spiders seen in the Bindbole Wood, north and northwest of Overhill. I think I'm going to need to send you to look into this problem. Try to kill as many of the spiders as you can, but also explore the north end of the woods and see if you can find their nest. Folks say these are monstrously large spiders, so I'd be careful if I were you. So back outside, mount up, and we're going to go north back to Overhill now. So there's two separate places we can kind of go up there. Shohan, well, I've got to go. Wanted to thank you again for the incredible content you've posted about. Was really happy to help you. Really happy you decided to post again. We'll catch you all on the next stream. Thank you again for joining us, Shohan, and we'll see you next time. So up, over, and we can defeat spiders technically anywhere in the Bindbole Wood. So I might find a couple as we're kind of going through the town. Monstrously large equals almost as tall as a peanut, says Keepy. Yeah, it's true. These spiders are pretty tame compared to many of the ones we see later in the game. So anywhere around here, if we see a spider. I mean, they call this a wood. I mean, it's quite open, to be fair. Little weaver here. Might as well kill you. I mean, yeah, they are the size of a hobbit, but hobbits are not necessarily that big anyway, so I've just noticed as well, we've actually got a new skill. What's this? We've got a new deed, Spider Slayer. So, knee strike. You bring your knee up in a sudden strike. Does a nice bit of damage. It applies a run speed debuff for 15 seconds. And it's got a 10-second cooldown, so we can permanently keep up a run speed debuff. But again, it is a melee attack. That is a pig, not a spider. Observation of the year, I know. A couple of bits of yarrow root we can use to make some dyes. Might as well pick those up. I might have to see if I can visit a training dummy at some point, because fighting a lot of these mobs, they die pretty quick. Which is not a bad thing, but it does mean that I can't really test out my new animations on my new skills. I was taught as Peanut the character, not a Peanut. Peanut being one of our player characters that was in our D&D campaign. That is another pig. Where am I going from here? West. Yeah, I wonder where the spiders could be. Could it possibly be in this huge webbed area up here? Bit of a giveaway. So over here, we've got a Spider Slayer deed. So this isn't too bad an area for doing spiders. But I would say the best place if you want to farm spiders for your Spider Slayer deed is going to be the quarry in Scary. Just because there's a lot more and they seem to respawn quite quick as well up there. So murder all these. Take that off the tracker. Right, so we're looking for the Dwarf Barrel, which I seem to have gone past. It's over by the pillar. Right, let's give a knee strike to this one. So I do a little knee strike animation. I can jump up and knee him in the face. Donk. Damage is feeling pretty good though at the minute, considering I'm just using a lot of the starter gear I had. Right, let's mount up. So the next one is the Lucky Slingstone. Keepy. Oak Barton is another good area if wanting to avoid low levels doing quests, in your opinion. Yeah, there's a couple of different places. So, should be able to take a turn left. I think there's like a little camp we can go into up here. Oh, there's a lot of bears. Is it a camp? No, it's just a bear den. I'll tell you what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the one that's north of the marshes, the camp, where there is a troll. Is this what I'm after? Don't know. There's something sparkly. Going to dismount and start killing stuff because I've probably aggroed a whole train through the camp. Here they come. Kill the babies. No witnesses. Let's plank the big bear. Right. I mean, there's glowing, but there's nothing actually here. I'm going to go further northeast. Up this hill, I guess. Yep, roughly the right direction. There we go, there's the deer corpse. I keep forgetting to do the opening first strike. Probably should do that more often. So loot this. There we go, so all these quests are complete. So if we go back to Overhill now for the hand-in, we should have a couple of things to do. Just drag this mob train with us. Loot all them. Yeah, we're doing nicely with the quest, getting there. The only problem is that unlike some regions, where it's a bit easier to go from one quest hub to another and do all the quests, and then you leave that particular town or camp or whatever, and you don't need to go back there. With the Shire, there's a lot of back and forth between the towns for the quest chains. So obviously we started pretty much in Mickle Delving. We've been back there once already after we've done the initial quests. Got to go back there now, come back. Going to probably deliver some mail there at some point. So it is a little bit of a pain in the backside, and if you're a completionist, and I've gone too far west, if you're a completionist and you want to do all the quests, it can be hard to make sure you've got everything if you're just kind of running around picking up what you can see, because you might need to be passing through a certain town after completing certain quests to get the next pickup. So if in doubt, you can always refer to the wiki to make sure you've got everything.
Hello there.
Ah, you found it. I can't thank you enough. That stone has all my luck in it. I just know it. So we can have a bow or a javelin, which we can't use as a brawler, so we're going to go for the carrots. And you're the postman. But there's nothing else to do here at the minute, so where do you want to go?
Could I take a moment of your time?
You're going for Bywater, so that's fine. We'll pick up yours, because we're heading south anyway. And there's a couple of nosy hobbits. There's one to the northwest of town, and there's one just to the west of town over there. So we're going to go a little bit further south. Just swing wide of this hobbit up here, who's kind of on the road. John Bastian got to go now. Thanks for the stream again, Bal. You're most welcome. Thanks for coming, and hopefully see you on the next stream. So we should be pretty much safe to walk along the road, but we're going to have the problem again. Actually, no, it's the Pie NPC, wasn't it, that was near the bridge. So we should be okay to cross this bridge, rather than having to go extra wide. That being said, we are going to Bywater, not Hobbiton, so we might as well cross that bridge anyway. Let's just put that on the quest guide focus, just so I can see where I'm going a bit better. Lost Shire Hobbit, I'm still here. Yeah, you'll still be here when I turn the lights off, I imagine. Short of a power cut or something. So, the bridge should be somewhere near this hut. There we go, there it is. So we'll cross down here. Hope there's no prying eyes. And then once we're across, we can go across country again. I think the postmaster is pretty much near the Green Dragon, if I'm not mistaken. No, you'll just go back to Adlaniel. Yeah. If nothing else, there's always the previous content. Right, so it's alright to poke my head around here. Postman Cotton, hand that in.
Good day. Might I have
Now
a word
he's
with you?
got one to talk to Postman Oddfoot. Nothing to do with actual mouse satchels. Okay. The quick post service will surely live up to its name again if we continue at this rate, Silry. There is something you can do to help me with, and maybe that will... Oh, don't start towards the mouse satchels just yet. I'm actually on top of the deliveries for today and don't need you to take any of these anywhere. No, what I want you to do is bring word to Postman Oddfoot in Frogmorton, which is just to the east of where we are, about our efforts to improve the speed at which we deliver the mail. He's been rather depressed lately. Hobbits in Frogmorton are not shy about expressing their complaints, and Oddfoot has always been one to take things rather to heart. Frogmorton is east of Bywater. Tell Oddfoot that we're repairing the reputation of the quick post and offer him whatever help you can. So it's basically just directing me to another guy. And then while we're here, a couple of quests we can pick up. It's got a spoiled pie outside the front door, so we'll come back to that in a moment. What have we got inside? Got the hand in for the barrel.
Can't a body be left alone?
Yes, that's it. This year, Gerd will win for sure. Please accept a mug on the house. So we get a green dragon's breath out. So, no follow-up from you, which is nice. Head back outside and let's grab another pie.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Ah, so you're back, and you're here about the pie, aren't you? I thought so. I knew something was wrong with the pie when you brought it by. Bad berries, right? Don't be so surprised. I've eaten more than enough pies in my life to know when something is off in one of them. Holly probably got her berries from the Rushok Bog, and they've been having more than a few problems with the berries lately. Anyway, go ahead and take the pie back to Holly, and tell the poor thing not to rush about getting me another. I'll tell the guests I ate the last one, and they'll just have to wait for another. Holly's home is just north of the Hobbiton main square. So at least this one we don't have too far to go. So pick that up, and this one we should be able to run direct without any interruptions from hungry hobbits. So a little bit of a shortcut across the field. How many pies is that done then? That'll be pie 3 of 12. God damn it. There's too many pies. Oh, hello. There's a hobbit here. We're going to go off-piste. Swing a little bit further north. And dunk that on the table. Job done. Right. Quest over here.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Good job. Now all we have to do is find a way to get past the webs tangling up the spider nest.
Stay and have some tea.
Now we have to find a way through the webs that are blocking the spider nest you found. Those webs are too tough and sticky to cut through, and we can't burn them without setting the whole wood afire. Fortunately, I think I know who can help us. Gamma Boffin up in Overhill is a wise old lady who knows all kinds of things about herbs and such. I think she'll be able to brew up something to help us deal with those webs. Her home is in the middle of Overhill. Perhaps with old Gamma's help, we'll be able to deal with the spider nest in the woods. So that's sending us back again, like we said previously, back where we came from. So we're following ourselves around a little bit. So one is in Overhill, one is in Frogmorton, one is in Budgeford. So I guess we might as well go east then. So this is the one to talk to Postman Oddfoot. So we just need to go up and over this hill that's in front of us, and we go down into Frogmorton, which is kind of a little bit of marshland in the middle of the Shire, which is another place where we could have been hunting frogs as well. But again, they're going to have a postmaster and expect us to deliver post somewhere as well. But we're doing a bit better on the post. We've got 6 of 13 quests done. If you need to know which ones you're missing, it does at least tell you where it starts and finishes for the routes. Could break our legs. There we go, bit of a delayed sound effect. Whereas the spoiled pies only tell you which town you need to pick them up from, which is a bit more vague. Right then.
Hello.
Hello there, I'm the postman for Frogmorton. I'm sorry for any inconvenience the quick post service may have caused you. What's that, you're not here to complain? Oh, I see, that's nice. Yes, I'm glad we haven't disappointed you today. I get so many complaints, you know. It does get to a hobbit after a while. You say that Postman Cotton is trying to revitalise the quick post service and make it what it used to be? Even with all the letters that get sent these days? That's incredible news. If we can recapture our old reputation, maybe we won't need to spend so much time answering complaints.
Please, stay a moment.
With your help, Sylvie, I believe the quick post service will once again be the respected establishment it used to be. We must act quickly. There's a mouse satchel on the table there that must go to Postman Spinner in Woodhall as soon as possible, and you're just the one to do it. Woodhall is quite the walk from Frogmorton. There isn't a direct route, so you might need to head out to Budgeford or Stock to find the road there. Good luck, and watch out for nosy hobbits, and steer clear of water, for it won't do to hand Postman Spinner a soaked pile of mail. Now, that is actually a little bit further than I anticipated. but we'll pick it up anyway. I thought it was going to be a bit more due south of where we were. Actually, I can't go that way because there's a nosy hobbit directly in front of me. Can't climb the hill. I'm going to struggle to go that way, actually. I think I might take my chances. Actually, I can climb here. I thought that was a bit too steep. So let's go around the edges. We kind of need to go mostly east, but also a bit south, so kind of in this sort of direction. Leo, what rewards do you get for the pie and post deeds? That is a good question. I think you get a title for both of them. So for the spoiled pies, 2,000 virtue experience, 30 marks, 5 LOTRO points, and increased reputation with the Matham Society, 700 reputation. For the Sights of the Shire, it's same again by the looks of it. 5 LOTRO points, 30 marks, 2,000 virtue XP, but only 500 Matham reputation. I could have sworn they both had a title. Restorer of the Quick Post or something like that. Unless there's something else you need to do once you've done the delivering deeds. Right, the pig will just roar at me, so that's fine. So over to Woodhall then. So Woodhall, if I remember correctly from the books, is where Frodo, and I believe Sam and Fatty Bolger was with them, met some elves, and one of the elves was notable, which is a cryptic way of putting it, but I'm sure because I can't remember what it was for. And there's a hobbit there. Where are we? Actually, I'm already there. The elf that we meet there, is it the elf that's in the North Downs? In the swampy place there. I can't remember his name. But I'm sure it's that elf. I'm going to have to find that out now for the next stream.
Could I take a moment?
There's someone in chat knows. With your help, the Quick Post Service can once again have a reputation for speed and quality of delivery, Silry. If you are willing, you can help me with something right now. There on the table, you will find a mail satchel to be delivered to Postman Smallborough, northeast of the town of Stock. It's just up the Stock Road east of here and shouldn't be too much trouble. I would go myself, but there's a shipment of leaf due any minute now, and I need to be sure to send out the receipts. You'll find Postman Smallborough northeast of the town, quite near the Brandywine Bridge. Don't delay and avoid nosy hobbits. They will impede your delivery with their questions and chatter. Don't let the mouse satchel get wet either. So we'll just hold on to that for now. We won't pick up the satchel. Let's just see what the other guys want.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Well, that's a collector pie quest, so that can wait. Can't do two at the same time.
Good day.
Acilia sent you my way, did she? Well, what a surprise. She didn't seem too fond of me after I married my Alder, but I suppose time heals all wounds, as they say. So you are looking for a hobbit who hid on one of Longobarrow's leaf wagons, are you? Gerabert Took was his name. Well, it's funny you should mention that, as I'm missing something myself, and I think they may be related.
Stay and have some tea.
I was expecting one of Longobarrow's wagons to arrive a while ago, but the fool thing never showed up. I've sent a message over to Longo, but he never answered. At the time, I suppose he had never sent the wagon, or wasn't worried about it. But now you've got me wondering. There is a clearing north of the Stock Road, where the wagons occasionally stop. It's due west of Woodhall, right by the Well Bridge. Maybe there you'll find some sign of Longo's wagon, or this Gerabert Took you're looking for. I'll have to look further into this matter. I always did think it strange that Longo didn't seem too concerned about his missing wagon. So that's those picked up. So we shall grab the mail now, and this is to go over to Stock. So this is slightly northeast of where we are now. So might need to stay off the road, but we can quite happily go at the east gate. Gildor and Glorian, there we go. Thanks, Keepy. I was going to bug you specifically if you weren't paying attention. The post deed gives a cloak and title from the post deed quest. The cloak is not unique in looks. Pie gives a prized pie cosmetic usage item and title. Yes, you can have an item you can click. It whips out a pie, and you can run around like you're carrying a pie just as you do in the quest. I think something's trying to chase me. It's a harvest fly. I'll break my legs in the hope that I can recover my legs before it hits me again. There we go. Didn't know they were that aggressive. You were making dinner. Okay. Just catching up. So yeah, the elf they run into at Woodhall is the elf that is in game in what's the place called in the North Downs? Medoweenan. He's the guy in charge of that encampment. So we need to find our way to the postmaster, who I get the suspicion may be in the centre part of town. Or is it? No, it's all the way to the north actually. There's a nosy hobbit just on our left. Oh, he lives right up by the bridge. So this is the Brandywine River, which is the borders of the Shire. Although them brandy bucks live on the other side of the Shire, just to be awkward.
Please stay a moment.
So your one goes to Budgeford. So Budgeford isn't too far; it's just across the river. So shall we grab yours then?
Might I speak with you a moment?
Might as well. I've always done my duty as a postman to the best of my ability, but the hobbits send so many letters. Sometimes it's quite overwhelming. If you'd like to ease some of my workload a little, you'll find a satchel full of mail there on the table that must be delivered to Postman Bolger in Budgeford as quickly as possible. Would you mind taking it to him? Postman Bolger can be found on the east side of Budgeford, north of the Pigpens. If you get seen by nosy hobbits, you won't be able to deliver the mail as quickly as it must be done for the reputation of the quick post service to be upheld. So don't stop to chat. And keep the satchel from getting wet. Budgeford is a muddy place and we don't want to soil the mail with it. So grab that. I think there's potentially a couple of places we can cross. So there is a wall here. I don't know if I can get all the way across without getting wet. This might be ambitious. Yeah, I can do. There we go. So quick and easy way to get across there. East side of Budgeford. So now we need to go pretty much due west. There's a load of wolves here. So as we've said previously, there is a wolf slayer deed in the Shire, but the best place to do that is over north of Waymeet, near Dora Brownlock's farm. Over at the wolf den there's a load of wolves in the valley and on the hills that surround it. And they respawn pretty quickly, so you can run a loop around there or a figure eight, whatever you prefer. And you'll get that done pretty quickly. So a bit further into town. Shrews are passive. No sign of any nosy hobbits, and there's the postman. So there is a hungry hobbit nearby, but that doesn't concern me too much. There we go. Where do you want to go?
Can I take a moment of your time?
You want to go to Scary, which is a bit further north. Do I want to do another post quest? Probably not. Lost Shire Hobbit. You think the Bridgefields wall and that field is also good for wolves? Yeah, there's a couple of places that are good for most of the creatures. Some of them may be better than others, but with the Shire deeds, you only need 30 for the lowest deed and 60 for the advanced deeds. So most of them are pretty easy to do in various regions. I think the one that everyone always struggles with is the slugs, because the only place really to do that is in the Rushrock Bog, and there's not that many slugs. How are we doing? I mean, we must have done most of the post now. Should we get most of them done today? Budgeford to Scary, which is this one. Scary to Brocken Borings, so it's coming back. Waymeet to Needlehole, Needlehole to Mickledale. I might as well do it while I'm here, I guess. I've heard the postmaster is trying to put the quick post service in a better light. Times aren't as quiet as they used to be, which makes mail delivery even more difficult and even dangerous on occasion. I've been putting off my latest delivery to the town of Scary for quite a while now, because of that spider business that's going on up there. I don't expect that sort of thing worries you at all, though. The mail satchel on the table there is for Postman Digswell, if you wouldn't mind carrying it for me. You'll find him in Scary, north of the town centre. Avoid nosy hobbits. They might complain about the lateness of my delivery, but I want you to deliver it as quickly as possible. No excuses. Don't let the mail satchel get wet either. So do this. And once I've done this, there'll be 3 left. So there are a bunch of quests here. I'm not too fussed about picking them up now, because we're not going to get around to doing them tonight anyway. So we'll save that for the next stream. So this route, we can probably run it mostly cross-country, east of the road. That way we're unlikely to run into any hobbits. Just need to make sure we don't run into any wildlife as well. What other deeds have we got in the Shire? So yeah, Slug Slayer is kind of limited to the Rishok Bog. Spider Slayer is kind of anywhere that's in the north of the region is generally pretty good. So as we've seen before, the spider encampment over there, the Scary and Quarry, Quarry and Scary even, is another good spot. Wolf Slayer, wolves are generally in the more central regions of the Shire. So like over here, Dora Brownlock's farm, over here near the wall in Budgeford. Quest doing deed, getting along there. Farms of the Shire, we're still missing a few. Southfields, Banfurlong, Old Odo's Leaf Farm. No, go away, bat. Sites of the Shire, so we missed the Bridgefields wall. We could have found that on the way there. We need to find the quarry. I echoed another bat. I may have screwed myself here. I probably should be paying more attention where I'm going. I'm running faster than the bat, that's fine. The Methyl stage is near Bywater. The Stock Tower is near Stock. And yeah, so we're doing alright. Ah! Hobbit. Nearly run into that nosy hobbit over there. That would have been awkward if I dropped it right at the end. There we go. Postman Digswell. You want to go to Brockenborings. So he wants us to go slightly west, which is not too far at all.
Can I take a moment of your time?
Lost Shire Hobbit. Yes, the local wildlife like to cause trouble, don't they indeed? And annoyingly, my local recording has run out of space. So where I'm recording the stream locally, in addition to recording to the stream, just so I can have a higher quality recording for when I actually break it down into separate episodes of Let's Play. Rather than having to rely on the stream one, because sometimes it can kind of go a little bit lower quality at times. I'll move that across and then we can start recording that again. So the table, interact. So we're taking this one to Brockenborings. Watch out for that hobbit on the side there. Keep you. I need another new used hard drive. Yeah. Don't remind me about that. I'm on critical mass on so many different hard drives at the minute. And there was me thinking before I started recording tonight for the stream that 100 gigs would be enough. Alas not. So onwards we go. Got some silver deposits here because we're in the later parts of the Shire. We start getting some of the tier 2 crafting materials. Life of a Bounder, we're now on the final tier of the deed. That's a nosy hobbit, we want to avoid that. There's one down here as well. I think we're going to have to go extra wide. Where is the postmaster actually? Kind of over in the back of the stable master. Oh man, there's loads of them. Right, we need to get over there. there's a nosy hobbit. I think our best bet actually is get on the hill and drop down. I don't trust myself with going near that pond. So where was the one that was on the road? He's down there, that's fine. So I can get up the hill now. Jump over there. That's a hungry hobbit, so that's fine. And then jump down the top. There we go. Job done. Right. So he doesn't have a quest for us to do. So what do we got? We've got Waymeet to Needlehole. And then Needlehole back to Mickle Delving to finish off the deed. So that's not too bad. Gamma Boffin is in Overhill. So we'll head over there. Mount back up. And we're probably going to end up wrapping up pretty soon anyway. So we'll probably just tie up some loose ends for tonight's stream, and then we'll be ready to pick up all the quests in the towns that we've kind of just about visited but not really picked up quests in, ready for next time. So, need to cross the river. I've completely gone south of the bridge, just have to jump it. Mount back up. Lost Shire Hobbit, you go to the pub and drop down from there, yeah, so we got there in the end. I couldn't remember there being so many nosy hobbits in that one, just to make your life a bit more difficult. It's the hard mode post delivery, as opposed to doing the easy mode. Right, Gamma Boffin.
Good day.
Hey, what's that? Speak up, speak up. Oh, spider webs is it, my dear? Such a nuisance they are, sticking to everything you try to get rid of them with. But old Gamma has the answer, my dear. I'll need 6 drams of slug slime first, though, and then I'll fix you right up for sure. Eh, slugs? But I'd look in the bog if I was you, dear. Rushock Bog, you know, it's the west of Overhill. You can't miss it. When you have enough slime, bring it back to me, as old Gamma will take care of everything else. So she's something of a herbalist, this one. So, mount up. And off we go. And annoyingly, we need the post to take from Waymeet to Needlehole, so it probably isn't worth poking my nose into Needlehole just yet. I'll probably end up saving that for part 3 of the Shire streaming. Whether there'll be a part 4, I don't know. We might get everything tied up in the 3rd stream. Or it's possible we might need a 4th stream, but maybe a slightly shorter stream just to wrap up loose ends in the Shire. But with the amount of running around, I'd say it probably will end up being 4 streams. So, we're on the hunt for slugs. And this is one of the Slayer Deeds that really you probably do want to use the Slayer Deed for. Most of the time it's not worth using Slayer Deed accelerators for early level quests, just because the requirements for how many you need are so low. But given how the slugs are quite rare, it does make life a lot easier. That being said, if you are doing this quest or any other Slayer Deed quest where you need a particular mob type in a certain area, it is worth killing other mobs in that area. So in this case, if I kill like this gnat swarm or the toads or anything else that's in the region, whatever spawn node that these guys are attached to, they will have a certain probability of spawning one of several different types of mobs. Then it will be weighted accordingly in some way or another. So it might have a chance of respawning as a slug if you kill some gnats or a toad or whatever. So it's always worth just killing everything you see, even if it's not the thing you're trying to actively kill for your Slayer Deed. Lost Shire Hobbit, where are you thinking of heading next? What's the plan for the future path? I've just hit the Great River with your mane. So, the next region I will probably cover, either, it was originally going to be the Great River. I might end up doing a small little interlude where I'm going to go to the Wildwood. So this is technically not a region in its own right. However, it's I'm sure Keep, if he's in the chat, will correct me. I think it's like a level 45-ish region. 45 to 50 or 40 to 45, something like that. It's in the 40s. Region that was added in over in Breeland. So if you go to Breeland, previously all this area up here used to be off limits. You couldn't climb up there at all. But they've now made it into like a little bit of a miniature quest pack in this region. So I haven't been there, I haven't done that, so I probably will do that at some point. I will need to double check what level it is and see if I've got a level appropriate character. So I might end up going there next, and then I can say conclusively we've done everything in Eridor. But other than that, it will be the Great River next. And when I get around to doing the Great River, I'm going to be doing that on the Lawmaster, since that's the one main class I haven't actually covered in the game yet, which is not my least favourite class, as I've talked about before. That would probably be Guardian, although the Guardian is a lot better these days than back in the days when I formed those opinions. So I appreciate it may be a bit more of an enjoyable experience to play solo these days. But yeah, Lawmaster will be the one to do the Great River. I don't know for the Wildwood. It'll be whatever's level appropriate and involves less grind to level up someone to an appropriate level. Just to try and keep it on level and not just Goomba stomp everything that's in the region. Leo, you would enjoy a Wildwood playthrough. I don't know if any of you guys in chat have actually done the Wildwood. I haven't done it, so I don't know anything about that region at all. Although there's a bunch of woodmen or something that live there. But I don't think there was any particular reason why they added in that region of the game. It was just something different they added just to pad out some mid-game content, just to give some other options for mid-tier stuff, rather than introducing everything at the level cap. Because obviously for players that have only started playing recently, or aren't that long into playing the game, it's going to take a long time until they get up to like level 130, 140, whatever. Why am I going up here? I'm going to need to go back to Overhill. So rather than having to like wait until the absolute late game or current end game at the minute to play through new content, they can get something new as well. And for players that have been playing for years anyway, it gives them something new to do. Rather than doing the age-old thing of, you know, in your 40s you might go Misty Mountains or Angmar or Thorkel. It's just something different, basically.
Hello there.
Nasty stuff, isn't it? But that's what we'll use to get through those webs. It will take me but a moment to mix this up for you. We can choose one of these two things. Medium armour, don't need, so I'll take the Milk Thistle Draft.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
There we go, my dear. This draft should get you through those spider webs, but you must hurry. It dries out quickly. Oh, there's one more thing. I've heard nursery stories about a walking tree in the Bindbol Wood, like them in the Old Forest. It might be asleep, if it's even there at all, and it might be dangerous to things on two legs, like they say the Old Forest is. But I doubt it will take kindly to all those nasty spiders either. Now off with you before that draft dries, or you'll never get through the webs. So, onwards we go. And we are now going kind of up that route that the spider webs were in. Might as well grab that yellow route. Boink. Yeah, I think we'll probably end up doing this quest and then we might wrap up there. So, ignore the bears. Probably drag a few of them and a spider, apparently. Let's be bold. Let's just run all the way in. If we can ding 13 tonight, that would be a good place to stop, really. Can assign our trait point and then call it a day. So in here, yep, trigger all the spiders dropping down from the ceiling. So we're trying to get past the webs, which will be this wall here. So we can interact with that. We've made it past the thick webs. More spiders. Angry spiders. Angry tree. Probably should stop here and actually deal with all the stuff that's following me. Right, punch the spiders. There we go, need the spider in the nuts. Oh, another one's just found me. Whack him as well. Job done. Right, so we have over here a tree that is somewhat alive. So, we can investigate. The walking tree shudders when you touch it. Tiny spiders are crawling all over it, their webs veiling its bark. It looks like the walking tree is in some distress. Ding! And the tree shudders, attempting to tear itself loose from the webs that bind it. Perhaps there is a way you could help clear the webs away. And I've also got a quest which is now vectoring me towards Breland. So, free the tree. The tree rips itself free from its remaining bonds. Alerted by the commotion, more spiders appear from the nearby foliage. So the tree is our friend, which is nice because normally a lot of the trees are angry and don't like us. Punch a couple of little spiders. So I think we're escorting the tree out of the spider area by the looks of it. So punch all these. New deed, enmity of the spiders. So this is one of our Hobbit racial deeds. So now that we are level 13, killing a spider will unlock enmity of the spiders. I can't remember whether there are 2 or 3 tiers of this. And we completed Spider Slayer in Breland, which is in the Shire, which is nice. So I can't remember whether it's 2 or 3 tiers of enmity of the spiders, but each racial either has 2 or 3 tiers. And it will give us racial traits. So this one grants us Hobbit stature, which will give us a might bonus, which will offset our deficiency from rolling a hobbit. So hobbits are small and therefore not very strong, so they have a might penalty. That essentially negates the might penalty. But we don't really care, because it's not a huge amount anyway. So the penalties or the advantages and penalties for picking certain classes aren't that huge in the grand scheme of things. So murder you. Actually, escort our tree friend as he moves house. So yeah, advanced Spider Slayer. Only need 40 of them. We'll take that off the tracker. Empty the spiders. Don't care too much about the tracker either. And yeah, destination Breland. It's just to vector us once you hit like level 13 or so. It's just to let you know you could go to Breland to carry on questing. It will do that whenever you kind of reach the level that is appropriate to carry on with the Epic Story Volume 1, Book 1, which will start from Aragorn in Breland at the Prancing Pony. So punch all them. He's happy. Probably going to need to kill this one as well. I don't know how far I've got to escort him. New deed, long distance fling. So this is another class one. Use the skill hurl object, so the one where I throw a mug. Our ranged pull attack. Yeah, as I've said previously, all of the Brawler deeds don't have daily caps at the moment. Whether it's by design or not, I don't know. So you can just spam those skills until you get them done. I mean, our tree friend's still following me. I'm trying to keep an eye on the mini-map just in case any spiders spawn and drop down on top of it as he's walking along. Otherwise, it just seems like we're clearing our way out to these pillars. So by going ahead, I can kill all these mobs before he gets in range and aggroes himself. Right, is that it? Are you happy now, Mr. Tree? Leo, you haven't played through any Wildwood quests, but the area is fun to just explore. There's lots to find there. Yeah, I haven't really asked anyone who I know who plays the game what they think of it, so I'd be interested going in there blind and seeing what it's like. I don't know how many quests are in there, whether it's like just a couple of camps or quite a few. But I think it is offered in the store as a separate quest pack to the rest of Breland, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. The walking tree has escaped from Lob's Grove. We can go back. Take that one off the tracker. We can take the Bree quest off the tracker. So we need to go back to Hobbiton. And I think once we've spoken to Robin Smallborough, we will call it a night. So, while we're riding, we are level 13. I have lagged and therefore stopped moving. Oh, there we go. So we get one more trait point. I hope it's the game and not the internet. It is lagging. No, the stream seems to be fine. Anyway, so got one more trait point. So this is our 4th trait point. So I'm just going to spend that on set up attack damage again, just because it boosts the damage of our 3 basic attacks. So that's 4 points spent. So we need to spend 1 more point in the first tier, and then the point after that we'll get at level 17 we can spend in the 2nd tier of traits. So go down past the party tree. Where was Longo's missing wagon actually? Oh, that's down west of Woodhall. Up and over. So Robin Smallborough, he's inside the ivy bush. 2nd road on the left. If we go in there, speak to him.
Hello there. Hello there.
Quite a tale you tell. Sounds like more like one of those stories about the old forest than something we'd find in the West Farthing. I think we need to be wary of stray spiders in the area for quite some time, but it sounds like you've taken care of the worst of them, though you needn't have made up all that about a walking tree. Well done anyhow. So we can have a tree shield. Does it have a cool effect? No. Boring cosmetic. A axe or a pair of gloves, which is light armor, not useful to us. And we get a gift map. So there we go. We'll hand in that. We'll go outside just because it's a bit nicer. And I think we'll stop there for the evening because I think that's been about 2.5 hours almost on the dot. So we've got plenty left to do in the Shire. There's a couple of bits of running back to like Mickle Delving and previous places that we haven't been to. We still got a couple of quests to do in Woodhall. We haven't really done Budgeford, Stock, Scary Brock and Borings, Needle Hole, or up in the Greenfields to the north. So there's plenty more to do. As I say, probably more than 1 stream's worth of content. So probably be at least 2 more streams for the Shire. The episodes that will form as a result of tonight's stream will probably start airing the week of the 31st of January. So stay tuned for those. If you've only caught part of the stream and you need to catch the rest of it, or you can go back and watch the full stream recording if you so choose. So thank you to everyone in the chat that has been around for the whole stream, and those of you that were around for most of it but had to head off for other reasons. Special shout out to Lost Shire, Hobbit and Leo who have been in there pretty much the whole stream. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and until next time, I will see you guys later.